Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Face to FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. This morning marked a historic milestone for Belize's healthcare system as the government officially signed agreements with 8 key institutions to deliver primary health services under the established National Health Insurance (NHI) program. This groundbreaking initiative aims to revolutionize healthcare access across the country by making essential services more affordable and widely available. The signing ceremony signifies a major step forward in the Briceño administration's commitment to ensuring that every citizen receives high-quality, comprehensive medical care. Through the NHI, residents of Belize City's north side, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, Benqueviejo, and surrounding communities will now have access to vital healthcare services, including laboratory testing, diagnostic imaging, and medications, often at little or no out-of-pocket expense.
That is why today I am very proud and deeply moved to announce the official rollout of the final phase of the National Health Insurance to the Cayo District. This is the moment we have been working towards for a generation. To the 80,000 Belizeans in this district who are now eligible to register, let me be clear about what this means for you and your family. It means that the doctor you visit, the medicine you need, the chronic care management for conditions like diabetes and hypertension, these essential services are now backed by the full strength of a national system designed to put quality care within your reach. It means your health is now our government's bottom line. We chose to culminate this journey here in the Cayo District because we recognize the immense potential and the immense responsibility we hold. You are the engine of so much of our economy, in agriculture, in tourism, in the BPO sector, in commerce, in providing government services. But an engine cannot run if the people driving it are unwell. By solidifying your health security, we are solidifying the economic security of our entire nation.
This expansion is expected to significantly improve health outcomes by removing financial barriers that have long hindered many Belizeans from seeking timely medical attention, according to Prime Minister John Briceño.
Let us be honest. For too long, many of our people in the rural areas and expanding towns have had to travel too far and wait for too long for care, health care. This final rollout is our commitment to closing that gap. We are bringing the system to you. We are strengthening our healthcare facilities here so that your health journey can begin and end in your own community. There is still work to be done. We must continue to recruit specialists, improve our infrastructure, and ensure that supply of medicine is always available. But today, we celebrate a milestone. We celebrate the visionaries who started this 25 years ago, the workers who sustained it, and the 80,000 citizens who will now carry it forward.
As Belize takes this bold step towards universal health care, the NHI is poised to become a cornerstone of the country's public health strategy.
As a ministry, we remain focused not only on expanding access, but also in improving quality and efficiency within our healthcare system. And that's one of the reasons the Ministry of Health has also participated as a PCP. We are advancing efforts to modernize healthcare delivery, strengthen integration across services, and enhance the use of digital health systems to ensure better coordination of patient care nationwide. The agreements signed today reinforce an important partnership, one that places patients at the center of healthcare delivery and supports our broader national vision of universal health coverage.
Two of the eight institutions that signed a contract to offer their services under the NHI are La Loma Luz Adventist Hospital in Santa Elena Town and Clínica Santa Maria in Benquevejo del Carmen. Belize's tourism industry is under renewed scrutiny following the filing of a wrongful death lawsuit in the United States connected to the tragic deaths of three American tourists. The civil claim arises from the February 2025 deaths of three women from Massachusetts who were discovered unresponsive inside their room at the Royal Kyle Beach Resort in San Pedro. While initial reports speculated that the deaths may have been linked to a possible overdose, subsequent investigations concluded that the women died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Authorities determined that a dangerous buildup of the odorless, lethal gas had allegedly accumulated inside the suite. The lawsuit filed in the United States names several defendants, including the resort, and alleges negligence in relation to the circumstances that led to the fatal exposure. Minister of Tourism Anthony Mahler addressed the matter this week, acknowledging the serious reputational impact of the incident. He described the tragedy as a setback for Belize's image abroad, noting that the country's tourism product depends heavily on maintaining visitor confidence and safety.
Well, the black eye happened already. The three young ladies have passed. Now it's just a court case. Whatever the courts decide, I will support. These things should never happen, and we should take much more pride and accountability. We should have much more accountability in terms of when we're building buildings to accommodate people, especially in the tourist sector.
As the legal proceedings move forward in the United States, tourism officials are expected to continue reviewing safety protocols and reinforcing standards aimed at protecting both visitors and the country's reputation as a premier travel destination. You might agree with us when we say that not everyone in need of legal assistance can afford a lawyer, a reality that has long hindered fair access to justice for many citizens. Addressing this critical gap, the Cabinet has approved the enactment of the Legal Aid Act No. 15 of 2023, which is set to take effect in the upcoming fiscal year. This groundbreaking legislation aims to establish the Legal Aid Commission, a body dedicated to providing free or affordable legal support to individuals with modest or moderate incomes.
For legally to properly reach and provide the level of services to those who really require it, it should properly be managed by a more autonomous body. And so the intent is to have the new legal aid regime be managed by a commission, which will have representation from the judiciary, DPP's office, the Bar Association, the Solicitor General, and Human Development. Amongst the services that this legal aid act seeks to provide is to extend the services to in cases for emergency domestic emergency services for domestic violence application. You will note very recently the government um, had passed a legislation to address that issue, where persons who may need to seek uh, a domestic violence um, domestic violence restraining order that outside of the normal court hours that service is provided, and so you would have to augment that to support that provisions for those persons to receive legal aid. You would also have persons who would receive legal aid, and the the thing though is that it is not or will not be available to everyone. It will obviously have to be for persons who are low and middle income, and they will have to satisfy a means test.
While the act was passed in 2023, it is just being operationalized due to a number of factors, including financing.
When we did our projection, this new regime will cost upwards of $5 million. Now, what that required, it required some planning and some projection. And so the way it is being planned is that there will be a rolling out where $1 million would be added to the legal aid fund over the next 5 years. And the reason for that is that when you compare that $5 million to, say, the Attorney General's ministry budget or the budget of the magistracy or the judiciary, it really is it's almost is comparative. And so obviously a government needs to be able to balance existing realities, and so that is the reason why we've sought to roll it out in this way. Representation in administration of estates is specifically listed as one of the services that will be provided for those who access legal service. And in tandem with that, I would like to share that currently the senior courts, they are reviewing the administration of estates rules to try to reform and try to simplify them, because those as well um, are things that are a bit drawback. So if a lay person wanted to do it him or herself, they may find it a little bit torturous. So that is being done in tandem with that specific service that will now be available. Well, it's always been available, but specifically, it will be a service that is now enshrined in law, that persons who access legal aid service would be able to obtain.
According to Attorney General Anthony Sylvester, the services offered by legal aid will not be limited to criminal matters, as the Commission is also looking at representation in civil matters.
So the intention is to have representation and legal services in family matters, in administration of estate matters, and in a limited number of other civil matters. Now, again, because of the way the regime will operate, what will happen is that the commission will certainly, over a period of time, perhaps maybe a couple of years, see the need for the services to be expanded.
Legal aid offices across the country are expected to be established over the next 5 years to better serve the most vulnerable populations. Coming up next, we take you to the NRH, where Belize Children's Project celebrates 50 years of changing lives. Stay tuned.
Registering the debt of a person is a crucial legal process done through the Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit, which allows you to obtain an official debt certificate. The new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS, makes it easy. Register online or visit an office countrywide. The debt registration process involves providing the necessary details about the deceased and the details of their debt. Register a debt promptly to avoid any delays or additional fees for late registration. Who can register a debt? Any person with an original medical certificate for the cause of debt, MCCD, issued by the medical facility certifying the debt. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz to complete the debt registration process with ease and care.
There is a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbra floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth. What we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1,000,000 trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhanced carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program, community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
For half a century, the Belize Children's Project, an initiative of the Rotary Club of Belmopan, has been providing life-changing orthopedic care to children born with bone abnormalities. Through collaboration with partners in the U.S., nearly 400 Belizean children have received critical surgical treatment and long-term follow-up care. The team was in Orange Walk today, where our team got a first glimpse of their work and some of the most powerful stories of resilience and transformation.
Many might have never heard the name Belize Children's Project before, but for the past 50 years, the program has been helping children from across the country to stand taller, walk stronger, and dream bigger. Since 1972, the Belize Children's Project has stood as a beacon of hope for families facing some of the most challenging medical circumstances. Spearheaded by the Rotary Club of Belmopan and supported by Rotary partners in Southern Illinois and Shriners Hospital for Children in St. Louis, the initiative has helped nearly 400 Belizean children receive life-changing orthopedic care to treat bone abnormalities, line curvature of the spine, limb length discrepancies, clubfoot, congenital amputation, or difficulty walking. Each year, a visiting orthopedic specialist travels countrywide to assess new cases and follow up with children already enrolled in the program. Once a child is accepted into the program, the commitment is long-term. The team walks alongside them until they turn 18, ensuring continuity of care and support every step of the way. Today, the team was in Orange Walk at the Northern Regional Hospital, where stories of resilience and transformation unfolded. 17-year-old Andrew Turton was born with a congenital amputation. For much of his early life, mobility was a challenge. Today, thanks to the Belize Children's Project, Andrew walks confidently and with purpose. 14-year-old Zaidan Castillo's journey took him beyond Belize's borders. Diagnosed with a congenital limb length discrepancy, he traveled to the United States for corrective treatment. Now back home, Zayden is a confident and active high school student. Born with severe scoliosis, her spine curved dramatically. Life for 17-year-old Christina Novello was uncertain. Through surgical intervention made possible by the program, Christina is now independent and thriving. Behind these success stories is a team of dedicated volunteers and medical professionals who have made Belize part of their life's mission. Through the Rotary Club of Southern Through the Rotary Club of Southern Illinois and Shriners Hospital for Children in St. Louis, everything is arranged.
So she's walking, but she's struggling to do it on her own. Okay.
For orthopedic surgeon Dr. Cole Hamadou, the project is deeply personal. For 17 years, he has traveled almost annually to Belize, donating his expertise and time. 50 years into their service, the Belize Children's Project is more than a medical initiative. It is a legacy of partnership, compassion, and unwavering commitment to Belize's children. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Rose.
So the Belize Children's Project is an orthopedic program that takes care of children with orthopedic needs in Belize. We have been in existence for over 50 years, and our club has been running the program since 2005. We have helped over 500 children during this period of time with various orthopedic problems, from spine to what we call bow leg here in Belize, knock knees, anything bone related. So what our club does is we fundraise annually to raise funds to be able to send the children to the U.S. We work with the Shriners Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri, and so every year we have a clinic countrywide. We start off in San Ignacio in La Loma Luz Hospital. We go to Belmopan. The second day we go to Dangriga. The third day we go to Belize City, and then the fourth day we go to Orange Walk. And we see children every day, and we basically screen them, and we do follow-up patients, children that have been to the U.S. For treatment. We check them to make sure that everything is okay, and if we need to send them back, we do. And then we screen for new patients that need help, and then we do the paperwork and send them up to the States for treatment. Well, to be quite honest with you, we are fortunate to be working with the Shriners Hospital because they do all the surgeries on our children for free. We're talking about surgeries that range at 150, 200,000 US dollars because, for example, a scoliosis surgery where they put titanium rods in the spine of the children, you can imagine how much that costs. So on that side of the equation, there's a lot of money involved in just the surgeries, but then we also have the part about hosting the children in the U.S. When the children go up, our team in the U.S., they find host families for the children to live at, and these people take them into their homes and treat them just like if it's one of their children, and run them back and forth to the hospital, feed them 3 times a day, buy clothes for them. So you can imagine how much that costs, and they're not paid or they're not reimbursed. Everything is done for free. In Belize, what we fundraise for is our club pays the tickets to go to the States. We help the families with passports, with visas, with medication, and we also help with tests. If the children need to do X-rays, MRIs, stuff like that, the Rotary Club of Belmopan covers all those tests in order for the children to get treatment.
What is the average of kids that you guys see annually in terms of new? I know that you guys follow these kids throughout their life. Someone mentioned to me until they're 18 years old at the times. But what is the average in terms of new cases that you guys see every year?
So every year we see roughly between 50 to 100 kids for the week, and on average we take about 8 to 10 kids a year to the States.
I have been in this project since I was 2 or 3 years old, and I had to join this project since I had congenital amputation. This project has been really good to me, and I think it helps a lot of us because I feel like we don't get too much recognition in Belize for special needs or whatsoever, and this project really helps those in need. Well, I experienced a different country, I experienced different cultures. I got to see how they work, how the medical field works, and I also learned that there are a lot of people like me. It's not just a minority. It's really out there.
In terms of being part of the project. Talk to us about how it has changed, your way of living, and you're being able to do other things.
Well, it gave me the ability to walk, but also to be more aware of things, and rather than just take something for granted, to be grateful for everything that I have.
This experience has brought me so many good needs on myself. I feel more confident after doing all these surgeries. Now I feel like I'm not another disabled kid in high school and stuff like that. I have more friends than usual. So I was born with my foot a little bit more shorter than the other one. It was like 6 inches shorter, and then when I went, they like lengthened it 5 inches longer. So yeah.
And how has that changed the way, your way of life, being able to have these procedures done?
It's made me more confident. Made me stand more tall, be more like confident in front of a group of people while presenting in front of the class. Yeah.
Well, discovered the club at 5, but when I went to the US, I was 10, and my experience with them is pretty great because they treat you like if you belong with them, and they're super sweet and they're gentle, and they just make you feel like a kid and not a kid with like disabilities or make you any less of who you are. Okay, so I had scoliosis. That's normally when your back is curved, and my one was at 97 degrees, so that was very challenging, and I couldn't really walk. I was a late walker as a child, and it was just really bad for my type of scoliosis, so I had to go there.
Talk to us about how being part of the group, and being able to travel to the U.S., how that has changed, your life and how you've been able to, live.
So it changed my life completely, but for a good reason, because I'm 17 now, and well, I could have went another different way if I didn't find this club, and I wouldn't be here right now. So I'm forever grateful for them because they really did help me, because I had it really, really bad, and it's just not something nice. Especially when you're a child, you were very insecure of who you are. And then when I found this group, I just felt like this was home, and it was so sweet, and I love them. I'm grateful for them and Shriners Hospitals for Children, because without them, I wouldn't be here right now and I wouldn't be doing this interview. So it's great because I was actually finished with my surgeries. Right now it's just checkups, because they always want to check back to their outpatients just in case they need to go back and check if they're okay. And so far I'm doing great, thank God. And it's just so sweet, this experience, this whole club. They deserve the world.
We basically have a team here in Belize and then our team in the United States. Once the children are identified at our screening clinic and accepted for treatment at Shriners Hospital in St. Louis, we facilitate getting them to the United States, either with an accompanying parent if the parent can cover their expenses, or we find very loving and caring host families that take care of the children. And they oftentimes take them into their homes and treat them as if they're their own child. Get them through the surgery, get them taken care of, and then get them back on the plane home to their loving families. It takes a lot of energy. Last year in 25, we brought up 15 children. And unfortunately, our planes go out at 5 in the morning and they come in at 11 o'clock at night. So we have people at the airport to transport the children to and from the airport or back to Belize. And then basically get them connected with their host family or settled at a housing if they're with a parent, and on to their doctor's appointments, their clinic appointments, and then with them at all times for surgery. Therapy oftentimes is required. Our children can go anywhere from 2 months to 6 months. And basically then when completed, they come back to Belize and they go back to school. They lead their normal lives. And fortunately with our follow-up clinics, which is unique to any other program. We follow them until they're 18, and then we see them grow and become viable contributing adults.
So this year is much like any other. We see pretty much all variety of pediatric orthopedic problems. And so we'll see children with club feet, with spina bifida. We see children with cerebral palsy. We see a lot of children with injuries that they've had in the past that result in problems with their leg or their foot or their hip. And we'll see a lot of kids with hip dysplasia, which is a problem that occurs at birth and then over time gets worse to where they have trouble walking. And so there's like some of the classic things that we see. It's fantastic on a personal level. So one of the first years, we had an opportunity. My wife and I acted as a host family for one of the girls, actually from that was seen in this clinic, Sade Pena, and she had hip disease. She required 2 big surgeries. Stayed with us for 6 months, and we taught her English and potty trained her. And so she's a happy, healthy teenager now. She's running and playing, and she's doing well in school. And it's just very rewarding to see that, certainly on a personal level, but to see that in these kids, even if I get to see them once a year briefly, to look at the concrete physical improvement that they've had and the ability to lead normal, regular lives, or just even to have significant improvement in what they can do on a day-to-day basis.
In a developing case that has ignited discussions on cultural expression within law enforcement, Corporal Kenrick Ball, a police officer known for his Rastafarian faith, has been placed on suspension following a dispute over his well-maintained dreadlocks. Ball, who argues that his hairstyle is an essential aspect of his religious identity, contends he should be permitted to wear his dreadlocks while performing his duties as a police officer. Reports now indicate that Ball was issued a warning to remove his dreadlocks, but he refused, citing religious rights. Subsequently, he was suspended for reasons that remain unspecified, prompting questions about the enforcement of grooming policies and religious freedoms within the police force. Ball has retained legal representation enlisting Leslie Mendes, the attorney who previously achieved a landmark victory in 2021. In that case, the Supreme Court upheld the rights of 2 female police officers to wear dreadlocks, establishing a significant legal precedent, affirming cultural and religious expression within the police service. Notably, Mendes's legal team included Anthony Sylvester, who at the time was a prominent human rights advocate and is now serving as the Attorney General. Given his role in that pivotal case, Sylvester was questioned whether he will advise the police department to reconsider its stance against Corporal Ball, considering the legal precedent set just 2 years ago.
So we are observing this case, and in fact, actually, there's a meeting we have tomorrow with the police department to specifically address the issue. So I saw, I think in your newscast, Ms. Mendes, who my friend, by the way, we work on that case together actually, and so she's a very formidable attorney, and so I know that she is coming. Um, she's coming good. She's coming good. So I won't say too much because we haven't formally responded to her, and I think it'd be more prudent to have our response be formalized in a letter to her. But suffice it to say, so now in this seat, I have a better appreciation for the need for certain policies and rules and laws to be in place, particularly as it relates to a body like the police department, which must be disciplined and much be organized. And so, as you rightly pointed out, my job is to ensure that and is to advise. So, a particular department or ministry, they may have a policy and they may have a reason, a rationale for that policy, which is one of the things courts look to. So no one has an absolute right. Indeed, the Constitution says that you have a right to freedom of expression, freedom of conscience, freedom of movement, etc. But those rights are subject to the expression and enjoyment of rights of others, and they also may be limited in the public interest. And so the court usually look at like a 3-prong test. They look at, okay, so you want to limit this person's right to conscience or religion, for instance. What is the justification for that particular limitation of the right? Then the court will then look at, okay, so how do you go about limiting this person's right? And then is that mechanism connected to what you say is irrational? And then you try to look at whether if you've gone too far, is this really necessary for go too far, or it could be a limit, a limiting of the right in a less restrictive way. So those are things that obviously the state will have to address, and we intend to and address the matter.
As the situation unfolds, the case raises broader questions about diversity, religious freedoms, and the evolving policies within law enforcement agencies. The coming days are expected to reveal whether Ball's right will be upheld or if the police force will enforce its grooming standards amidst ongoing legal debates. After a 5-year hiatus brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Elite Basketball Team NEBL is officially making its long-awaited return, marking a major milestone for sports in Belize. The 2026 season will tip off this Friday in Belize City, signaling a new chapter for local basketball and reigniting excitement among players, fans, and sporting communities across the country. The league's comeback is being welcomed as a significant boost for national sports development and youth engagement. Speaking on the league's revival and the revamping of sports on a whole in Belize, Minister of Tourism and Youth and Sports, Honorable Anthony Mahler, underscored the government's strengthened focus on sports development. Mahler emphasized that sports represent more than competition. They provide structure, discipline, and opportunity for young people throughout Belize. According to the minister, the government sees sports as a key area for youth empowerment, education, crime prevention, and community building. By revitalizing national leagues such as the NEBL, the administration aims to create positive outlets for young athletes while fostering national pride and unity.
Our administration truly believes that sports can be a vehicle for massive change. And we have four major pillars for sports. Sports and education being the main one. So we believe that sports, you can use sports as a vehicle to get people abroad to study and to come back equipped with world experiences and with their education. Um, Sports and healthcare, it is important for us because the last time I checked, about 60% of our population is afflicted by some non-communicable disease. And we believe that if we inject sports in the primary schools and in the psyche of the Belizean people, then we can be a healthier people. Sports and national pride. As I drive throughout the entire country, and all I want to notice that I have my pet peeve is the amount of garbage we have. So I say, one young lady run, which I am proud of, always proud of, with a flag, and all that we got some sense of nationalistic pride. But yet, all our highways are littered with garbage. Dump sites are all over the place that shouldn't be. I don't care how you tell them. When we plant plants, they dig it up, they steal them, they break them up. The other day, I saw some goats on Boulevard eating the plants. Like, you want to tell me that pride? I looked right in there just now, and so many people during the anthem did not take off their hats. And then I say, I go past some crazy run, but then not tell me about no flag they run through Bad Bunny. I couldn't care less, right? Do the things that we need to do. Make the black people stop kill up yourself on the south side. Make we work hard. Make we work together. And then you will see a difference in our society.
Government is moving ahead with plans to modernize the country's main air gateway as Minister of Tourism Anthony Mahler confirms that preparatory work is already underway to upgrade the Philip Golson International Airport. Speaking this week, Mahler said a structured plan has been developed and authorities are now evaluating the best path forward to enhance the airport's infrastructure and overall passenger experience. The proposed upgrades are aimed at improving capacity, efficiency, and comfort as Belize continues to see steady growth in overnight arrivals. In addition to physical improvements at the airport. The government is also reviewing transportation access to the facility.
And we've ordered 5, and so they'll come within the next couple of months. And then we've ordered 6 turfs for football fees. I believe 3 large and 3 small ones. So look in the history, in one day you sign an agreement for 5 courts and 6 fields. Plus, we're doing major works on MCC. Mexico Center is starting, and so hopefully we get that. We're doing some tremendous work on People's Stadium. I'm getting some quotations from down south, from that facility down there, from in the Toledo district, and then in Dangriga. Well, those things are looking at. In fact, the Prime Minister and I had a meeting with BAC recently, and they laid out the full plans. And some major advancements with the works have been completed, are in the process, and hopefully within the next few months we have new facilities in there. So I'm not sure about that one. What's 80% of the people coming into the country, right, in terms of tourism. So easily 600,000 or 700,000 people pass through the airport every year. In and out. Well, in and out 1.2, 1.3 million, right?
As Belize continues positioning itself as a premier destination in the region, officials say enhancing the airport and its surrounding transport network will play a key role in supporting long-term growth. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking, you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Basketball fans, the NBA season is back and more electrifying than ever.
Forever.
Witness every battle, every dunk, and every overhead and back pass with Centaur's Express Plus app. This season is a must-watch event packed with heart-stopping moments and unforgettable plays. Don't miss out. Stream all the action live on the Centaur's Express Plus app.
Hey, drop James Harden's ass.
Express Plus, your front row seat to the 2025 NBA season.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls.
and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize. This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
In their meeting this week, Cabinet endorsed an updated national framework aimed at strengthening the management and protection of Belize's freshwater resources over the next decade. They approved the National Water Resources Management Policy Strategy and Action Plan for 2024-2034 provides a comprehensive roadmap for managing the country's water resources in a coordinated, evidence-based, and financially sustainable manner. The policy outlines strategies to improve governance, ensure equitable access, and safeguard water supplies amid growing environmental and development pressures. In a separate decision, Cabinet gave it its endorsement for a loan to support the construction of a wastewater collection and treatment system in Key-Cocker. The project is expected to significantly improve sanitation services on the island and enhance the operations of Belize Water Services Limited, BWSL. Cabinet was also briefed by the Minister of Health and Wellness on 2 confirmed cases of tuberculosis TB. Officials reported that both patients are receiving appropriate anti-tuberculosis treatment and are responding well, that is. The Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to monitor the situation closely and reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding the health and well-being of students and the wider community. In closing, Cabinet encouraged all Belizeans to prioritize their health by engaging in regular exercise and outdoor activities as part of a broader national focus on wellness and preventative care. In a move to safeguard local iguana populations, Belize has declared a 4-month hunting ban on these reptiles effective immediately. Anyone found possessing or hunting iguanas during this period, running from February 1st to June 30th, could face hefty fines of up to $10,000. The Belize Forest Department emphasizes that this closed season is crucial for the survival and regeneration of the species. We understand that enforcement efforts would be intensified, with patrols targeting known hotspots such as La Democracia, Hattieville, and Sand Hill intersections. Members of the public are encouraged to assist in enforcement by reporting illegal activity at the hotline at 610-1524. The ban coincides with the iguana's critical breeding period, during which females lay eggs and populations are most vulnerable. While the Forest Department does not conduct direct population counts, it actively supports the iguana conservation program in partnership with the San Ignacio Hotel. Injured or illegally hunting iguanas are often brought to the facility for rehabilitation before being released back into their natural habitat. The department urges residents and visitors alike to respect the closed season and contribute to the ongoing effort to preserve Belize's unique wildlife heritage. And before we end tonight's newscast, we invite you to stay with us as we air the year's annual CMG Spring Festival Gala. The gala has been held annually on Chinese New Year's Eve since it was first aired in February 1983. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, February 28th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.